What's going on, folks? My name is Blacklight. This is going to be like my first review or coverage on a game that I recently played. It is Deconstruction Simulator. Let me get that out. A game where you tear down houses and earn some dirty hands and some extra cash. I don't want to just talk about just the game and the cool things that it has in store. I want to also share some tips and tricks that I found very helpful in my experience. If you end up seeing me, kind of looking off in this direction, yeah, I did write some things down because, like I said, this is going to be my first, overview video, and I'm going to do what it is that I can. So, I did some videos in, the past. I had another YouTube channel. It got taken down or whatever. It's fine, I guess. It's going to have to be, right? So, but anyway, I do a lot of streaming over on Twitch. I'm just trying to get my platform up and going again. This is, I guess, going to be, my first video slash, hello to you. Pretty much, yeah. So starting out, you work for a guy, he sends you to a house that's basically, it's the order to be torn down. And then you show up at the home and notice that some numbers are off, right? So you try to explain this, but, he's not pretty much having it. He's kind of rude, and stuff like that. I think he's from Boston, huh? But meanwhile, what happens is you end up collecting up some keys or whatever, and then and you jump in your wrecking ball. You go ahead and you hit the button, and the might of your wrecking ball exposes the number, and it ends up being the wrong house. Well, I'm guessing you can probably guess where it comes from here. He took the fall for it. Not so. No, actually, what happens left? He sits down with you. He tells you that it's your fault, and you get fired. Well, being the kind of person that you are, you're an entrepreneur in this here story. And then what you do is you go and get $100,000 loan and from a bank. But I think it's like 6 months later. And yeah, you go ahead and you buy up your own warehouse, your first ride, and you get back into the business, and come to do a successful business. Anyway, so now that's it sounds kind of linear, right? That's a good intro. But there's a lot of other details in this game, such as like you can go and do honest work. The different jobs gives you objectives. They might want you to take like a certain couch or a TV or something like that out of the house and place it into a van because they're going to be moving, and they have some very interesting stories every contract. So that's something to actually kind of dive into, a little piece of content there that's kind of entertaining. It's like something stupid, and they ask for the house to be destroyed or something like that. It's kind of entertaining, right? One of the clients, it was something to do with it was supposed to be a toy rocket launcher shot through a ceiling. It wasn't a toy, so and then they couldn't afford to do anything about it, so they want the house destroyed. Interesting stories, right? So anyway, but yeah, you can collect those items, you put them on the van for that customer, or you can be a dishonest individual, a contractor, and then basically, steal the items and then try to sell them off into the marketplace for profit, spend profit like that. Now, granted, you get penalties each time that you do this, and you also, your rating goes down. So you'd have to really care for those ratings in order to basically continue to get the good jobs. So you might not want to do that too much. So some of the great details that's basically in the game, I'm just kind of speeding through this little intro here because I want to get to the tips and tricks, but I don't want to take too much of your time, right? So upgrading tools, this task, makes a lot of things faster because you end up having to take apart like drawers and different shelves and stuff like that, which can be very tedious at the beginning, and it makes it I've noticed that some people, it makes it kind of hard for them to get into. They're like, oh my god, this is going to be a long drag. Well, there's a couple ways you can go about this, right? So you can jump in by upgrading your tools and then basically be able to get those tasks going a little faster for you. I think it's like level 3. The screwdriver turns into basically electric, kind of almost like a drill on going dead battery. But it still works out, right? It's a lot better than where it began. But anyway, so and then you can turn around, upgrade your warehouse, and basically hoard all those great, cool stuff you find. Sometimes you end up with a very full warehouse, but I'm gonna get to that in a moment. How you can get rid of those items, actually fairly fast. You can get rid of those items really quick, but I'm gonna get to that on the little tips and tricks part here. And of course, you can push your way of getting that big box truck and stuff, a whole house inside of it practically, right? So That's what I did on my playthrough. All I did is I pretty much upgraded a couple. I upgraded a couple of essentials just to make my life a little easier, and I went straight to the biggest box truck. But you have a couple options. You got the really small van. You got the bigger van that's like a Dodge ProMaster. For the game gives you the Dodge ProMaster, basically the second upgrade, which is awesome. Appreciate that. And then you go up to something that's a little more high top, allowing you to basically walk inside the van, making it easier to stack things and more headspace. And then you have that small, like the standard size of like a U-Haul van for like $25, that they advertise, right? So, and then you got your big boy, which is anyway. So like the big box truck is 10,000. Smaller box truck is 5,000, and then it goes down from there. I don't remember the rest. Again, I went straight to the box truck. So this game allows you to it opens the field to where basically what direction you want to choose, what kind of business person you want to try. What business person do you want to try to be? Do you want to steal everybody's things, or do you want to do honest work and then kind of spend profit the proper way? But it's up to you on what you want to make as a successful demo business. There you go, right? So I looked up, of course, one of the biggest questions sometimes on a lot of games when they release, is it available for Game Pass? I did find out that, the Game Pass for this game for Game Pass, as of basically September 2025, it's not going to be available, but you can purchase it on Steam. You can get on other like key reselling sites like G2A and All Key Shop, stuff like that. So check those out. Maybe those work out better for you. I've heard of some people, like in other streams on Twitch, they go to like I forget what site it is. I'll just put it into the. I'll try to find it, and I'll put it into the details below. Anyway, but yeah, you can go on there. Sometimes you can roll the dice, get you a couple keys, and it's a spit in the bucket, right? And you get some pretty cool games in the deal too. I kind of forget at the moment of this video what that website is called. Like I said, there's going to be a lot of errors in this video, I'm sure. I'm not going to try to pick it apart. I'm going to just try to get it out there, make it available to you guys. And the main part is these tips and tricks, because I shared them a couple like streams that I hang out in as well. And yeah, they was like, what? That's crazy. So I hope you get the same response as I share this. So do follow along and watch to the end of the video, because there might be something that you don't know. If there's something that I missed and something that you want to share with basically, the world, right? Don't forget to drop that into the comments section below. And of course, like the video, because hey, I am trying to build a platform here, and right now you could be helping me, and I thanks a million. Alright, I want to start off this section about stacking bricks. If you can see here in the video, if you end up collapsing a wall, the bricks will basically stack on their own, completing a full pallet, as you can tell. I want to show you exactly how to do this. So obviously, you'll get your skids and stuff like that, put it in your box truck. You show up to your job site, go ahead and get your skids out. I already removed windows and all the furniture and stuff like that. A lot of the game is, tedious in a lot of sections. And one thing that I found it to be just about as tedious is, well, collecting bricks and trying to make the most money out of your bricks. And I will get to that point here shortly in the video. This is gonna be my first voiceover, so bear with me. But yeah, so you have to make sure that you pull out all the walls. What I'm doing here is I'm lining up all the skids. This is not a very efficient way, but it kind of gives a good general sense on the overall view of how these bricks kind of stack. So what I did is I lined them all up against the wall. I'm taking apart the whole outside, exposing the whole outside of the wall. I'm going to give it a second for this video to basically kind of play. Just give it a second. Now that we got just about this whole wall exposed, get a couple of these little items up out of the way. Go ahead and put that into the bag. So anyway, so what we want to do is we want to put our skids basically real close to the wall. What I found is a lot of times when you collect the bottom bricks, when the wall falls, it kind of falls like towards you. So if you're on the outside and you grab the bricks, it's going to probably fall on the outside. If you're on the inside, it's going to fall on the inside. So anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through, I'm going to chisel basically all of these. So what I'm doing right here is this is going to be a 4-foot section. Right, real life, this would be roughly a 4-foot section, 4 to 5 foot, whatever. But anyway, so I got skids basically back behind it. So I guess I'm going to end up doing this whole wall. That's what I did. So anyway, but my point is that it's better to do it in 4-foot sections and then just one skid at a time. Now, I'm sure that you can get lucky and then probably do a whole wall and just keep dropping it and then eventually end up with full pallets. As I do here in this video, I tend to basically have all these pallets up against the back wall, behind the wall. I chisel out majority of this wall, and then what I end up doing is just dropping the wall, just taking out the bottom bricks. They all basically go into, all the skids, like in a different number. I don't know. But anyway, but the thing is they all go on there, but they don't all fall on like one pallet, right? So what ends up happening is then you have your leftovers, and then you stack them onto the pallets and stuff because you want full skids. Cool little tip here. If, like, say for instance, as you can see, the bricks fell onto the skids here. I'm just giving in this part of the video, I'm just giving plenty of opportunity so you can see those see the examples of how they're kind of stacking on their own, right? You can see where it could possibly work out, like at that first little clip of this little section of the video, how like I had a partially completed skid and then it like finished it up and then it was ready to go. It could be loaded onto the truck. I'm kind of talking fast here because I'm just doing the overlay here. But the thing is that what also happens is that you can complete a skid. Kind of don't complete a skid, leave one brick off, and then you can actually move around with it. If you have a couple stacks, like say for instance, I know I have 6 skids, I can have 6 bricks sitting by the truck, basically 99% a skid, and then fast walk it to the truck, and then put the one brick on each one, and there you go. You can get rid of walking slow, right? You can always do the halo thing, where you throw the flag and pick it back up, throw the flag. You can always do that, or you could just finish the skids that way, whatever way works. But my point is here is that you can remove the wall and they will kind of self-stack, so to speak. You just have to play with that feature and you will find that it actually kind of speeds things up, maybe makes things a little less tedious for you. Now back at the warehouse, I want to go ahead and share a couple things. So right now what I'm doing is I'm preparing for a sale. That sale, they went, basically the brick pallets, as you can tell. That's what this is all about. So what I usually do is I cram everything off to the corners, and then I only grab the shelves that I pretty much need it. Like say for instance, if I'm working with a bunch of wood or a bunch of bricks and stuff like that, I don't want to go back and forth. So what I do is I put that closer to the loading area. So I mean, I don't even have to step off the truck. I can just basically grab, place, and I'll just basically rinse and repeat that. And then also, I'm not running around all over the warehouse. I just kind of move things where I need to move them. That works for me. So I don't really know why I didn't get the biggest capacity here, but I ended up getting the smaller one. So it can hold, what is it, 2, 4, 6, 8. So this truck here can hold 12 pallets, while the biggest truck can hold 16 pallets. So, you can really bank on money. So the important part here is that it looks like they only wanted, like 2 skids of bricks. Well, what I do is I'll just give them all of them. Because what happens is that they'll pay for the extra. And this goes along with a lot of things. So like they're only requesting, what is it, like a couple chairs. So like what I'm going to do is, and rather they're premium or just standard chairs or whatever, I'm gonna load that truck up with the chairs. If they ask for 2, they're getting 4, and then what happens is they just pay you double, if that makes sense, for the simplicity of math, right? So what I do here is I just kind of keep loading up this truck. The main thing is that you want to be able to at least do both. So like say for instance, if they're asking for like 2 skids and like 2 chairs, right? So they're asking for, you know, those items. Let's go ahead and say that they're, I don't know, rare chairs, right? So like you can put the chairs in there and then the bricks. You're completing the order, but then you go overboard by shoving these chairs in here whichever way they can fit. Shove as many bricks in there whichever way they can fit. The point is that, you know, the most you get in there, the most of the return that you're going to get when it comes to money wise. Okay, so it's pretty simple, right? They ask for 2 chairs, you put 4 in there, you get paid double. So and then that's how that works. You know, now it has to be the same. So like same, like if like you can't just make it up. Like say for instance, you know, they want chairs and then you turn around and give them a love seat. They're not going to be satisfied. The order's not complete. You're going to get a bad rating. But if you put basically the chairs in there and you just like keep increasing those numbers there at your top left, then you're just going to get a huge increase. Like when it comes to like cash and stuff like that. And like I said, it goes with just about with anything. Even wood, I'll show you that here in just a moment. But yeah, even wood, it goes with everything. We're coming up to the part where I basically finalize the cell. Put that in there. So like yeah, and then so you go up here, and then as you can see, they're sitting at 167% satisfied. I've had that number pretty high. Originally, they was trying to give me like $153. So now you can see here they're getting it. That turned it into 413. So on this next section, I will be basically moving on to wood after I make a mess of my warehouse. Sorry for the extra movements here or whatever, I don't know. So we're going to be getting to that part, and again, so it works the same way like with wood. If they say 120 centimeter you know, beam or something like that, and they want 2 of those, then and you have like a couple hundred of them, you can turn around and you can just stack those into a truck the best you can. So right here it's 270 the 270 centimeter what is it, the plank or whatever. Anyway, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just keep stacking them, right? They only want so many of them, as well as a couple other items, but we'll get to those. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab, like, I think it's like, I had close to 100 or something like that. I've had quite a bit of beams, like certain types of wood. And as you know, if you play this game, you will come across wood like no other, right? And so, and then with the orders requesting wood, you could probably play the game just selling wood, bricks, windows, and doors, right? So, the what ends up happening is like you could probably do that, honestly. Like you could just have like multiple shelves of just like wood and bricks and doors and windows and make tons of money, right? And not even bother with tearing apart furniture or nothing. You can just go out there and destroy that stuff and then just sit here and just like bank on doors and all that. And that's what you do. That's what you sell, right? And the rest of it, you just destroy everything. And, you know, and you can do that, right? So anyway, so again, if they ask for like 1 or 2 chairs, give them 4 or 40 or 400 or whatever, right? But yeah, and just stack that truck or whatever, and then go ahead and turn around and, you know, cash in. So right here, again, I moved the shelves around because I waited for a while before I even actually did an upgrade. I eventually upgraded my warehouse, but what ends up happening though is that I just kind of move things and makes it easier for me to pretty much load. So I ended up burying my container, so I would have to basically move it to where I can then place this container in there. Go ahead and close that door, take a look at the order, and then you'll notice that it is 441% satisfied. Well, we have more room, and we could do better than that, but it's the end of the day, so let's go ahead and, well, I'll close this out or whatever, and then we'll just kind of move on. So, again, I'm just kind of doing the voiceover of my gameplay here, so I'm probably going to run around and do some stuff. Catch me yawning over here. Yeah, I mean, we should do a yawn counter because every time when I go live or on stream or something like that, I yawn. I don't understand why. But so I'm gonna move some stuff here. I'm gonna get my wood shelves out. That's what I'm doing right now. Yeah, don't mind me. Anyway, so I'm gonna get these wood shelves out here, and I don't know what I'm clicking on right now. I'm just kind of playing the game, just kind of zoned out here. So anyway, so yeah, we're gonna go ahead and keep up loading this truck even further. I got the game obviously sped up or whatever to kill on a little bit of time, but I just want to kind of show you guys here on what it is that I'm doing. When it comes to these boards, I do want to say something. So you can grab, and this is a little time consuming, but you can grab like all these boards. Like say for instance, you have a bunch of boards laid on the ground. Grab them all up, put them all on a nice stack, all in a line, and then what you do is grab like the the longest board and just get a stacks of those or whatever, and then you can kind of organize a little bit better because you can grab your small boards and stuff like that. Because what happens is that you might have like you might end up with like 3 spaces of nothing but long boards, and it's not intentional. It's just you see the green space and you're like, oh, let me put it on there. So like right here, I'm trying to keep it organized to where I'm not oversaturating one board, like one or the other. And look, now you see it. I have 794% complete. This was a $300 order turned into now $1,543. So by using this method, this is what I'm talking about. This next part I'm not going to get too hung up on. Pretty much don't forget about the van that you ended up getting there at the beginning. Now that you replaced it with possibly a big box truck like you see here. But yeah, no, you can take little items and drop it into this van. Maybe you have your shelves are full or whatever. Maybe you're in a hurry. But yeah, you can take all your items here and you can load it into this van. They'll be safe and sound. They won't disappear. They're not on the floor, and maybe they're just kind of tucked away for another time. Maybe you want to load this van up with nothing but lights. Your choice, but it's a great thing to remember. So I hope majority of this video has did you well. Like maybe you can take a few things from it. If not, that's okay too. Glad you watched it. Especially if you made it this far through the video, then that means that I did a half decent job. Hopefully, a couple more things. I'm gonna just keep it simple. So like say for instance with your say for instance you end up having brick pallets. Maybe you didn't have enough bricks. You have like say for instance like a partial pallet or something like that. So you can actually like where where you get your skids from, you can hide a pallet back in there, and just basically put it on that side. You can stack it on, like maybe you have like 3 pallets sitting there that you're not using. You can take that partial skid and put it on there. That's a cool little tip. And then now also like you can't do that with the bins. With the bins, unfortunately, you cannot do that. So, like, when you put that onto the rack, and then, like, say for instance, you end your day or whatever, those items just completely disappear. So, I don't know, which one is wrong or right. However, but that does happen. I've noticed that they just disappeared. So like that van that I told you to store your items in and don't forget about, you can maybe put your partials in there if you need to. But me personally, since I had the box truck, I just keep the partials with me, like such as like when it comes to the totes. And then when I have a brick job, I have that partial brick pallet that I'll use. So so yeah, anyway, I hope those tips kind of helped you. Sorry if this was a little bit longer video. I was trying to plan it for 15 minutes, went over to about almost like 20. So I sped up the video, tried to talk fast, did my best here. I didn't put a bunch of effort into this video. It's better to be completed than perfect. And again, this is like the first actual like review video, tips and tricks, hints, whatever, of the channel. I hope it worked out for you. If this video did help you, obviously hit that thumbs up. Consider subscribing over here on YouTube, and then YouTube changed their little policy to where I can't put a link. But if you made it this far to the video, that plug for the Twitch is of course Blacklight Gaming, and then just throw an I at the end of it, and you should have no problem finding me. I hope to see you in one of the streams, and I hope to see you on the next one, because there is going to be a next one. Blacklight out. You guys have a good one.